Good morning. This is Angela with a cup of tea on Thursday, September 1st, 2011. If you hear a chirping in the background, now there's several chirpings in the background. I've had the window open this morning again because it's a beautiful morning. So we're getting musical interludes from the birds and the insects, and it's wonderful. So thank you. And leading right into the topic for today, we have all this going on in our world. The world is getting just so frantically paced. We have so many things going on at the same time, which is a great dichotomy. It's such a great lesson experience that we're going through, is all of this chaotic flow of movement around us. And yet the key to maximizing this experience is the peace, is keeping the peace and the centeredness and the calmness within us, and the appreciation of the moment. And this came to me because I myself have had a very busy week, and very busy couple weeks or year or whatever. It just it just gets more and more so. And I've had clients, and I have classes I'm preparing to give this month, and I've been doing presentations, and I was on an internet TV show last night, and so all of this stuff has kept me very busy. And so I went to bed last night, and as I was drifting off, all of a sudden in my head I thought, oh my goodness, tomorrow's Thursday and I don't even have a topic for the webcast. So I decided to just quick try to check in and see if I got something, and I got something, but I think I was so tired I just passed out. Okay, but no panic, because I know it always comes. And this morning I get up and I get ready to do my webcast, having no idea what I'm talking about. Now, granted, I could pull like 50 different topics out of the bag, no problem, but I like to ask for what's highest and best for today's webcast, and I trust that it comes in. So I'm like, okay, it'll come in. And I had to take my oldest to the high school this morning, drop her off. And I did. And for the 5 miles to go to the high school, and then the 5 miles back, so that's 10 miles, it took me an hour and 10 minutes because there's traffic, there's road work, and that was really, and yes, it can take me long, but that was really long today. So instead of getting irritated, I popped in a CD that had like Native American flute music and decided, okay, well, what better time than to ask, what should I talk about in the webcast today? And so I did. And while I'm sitting there, I'm waiting, and I had this happen before, right? I'm waiting as I'm thinking I'm going to hear something, and nothing's really coming to me. And I'm thinking, well, there's this and this, but see, what happened is my mind starts to think, because I was cutting into that space, right? That space of the now. So finally I heard, it's right in front of you. Pay attention. And I'm looking around going, what? I'm sitting in traffic. So should I talk about traffic today? And I just didn't hear anything. And I was like, all right, fine. So I'm watching, and I was just sort of paying attention and listening with my heart to see what is it that I'm missing, and realized that the traffic in general was all going in the same direction. There are lots of different vessels on getting to where we're going, but we're all moving in the same direction. And I was watching as a lot of cars were turning around and taking these side roads, blah, blah, blah. And then I'd see these cars stuck like one road up, and it really didn't get them anywhere because the traffic is just as bad up there on that other road, because all the other people who had decided to take that road too are trying to, shimmy around everything. And I laughed because I realized, oh, okay, yeah, I am going to talk about traffic today in a sense. The thing is that there are shorter roads, there are longer roads, we're going to the same place. Yes, so yes, the bigger topic is, yes, we're all going to the same place. And there's no right time to get there. There's no award for getting there first, a blue ribbon or anything like that. Because this is all our personal experience. This is what we are here to do. And so our goal is to get to that top of the mountain, to get up the, our individual spiritual paths and find enlightenment from our own experience and from our own perspective. So it doesn't matter what road you're taking, and we're all going to get there. And whether you're hurried or not, you're still going to get there. And it's very relevant because I'm going to back up a little bit and talk about, I've had some issues that I've been sort of dealing with myself this week, where I was getting really frustrated and really angry about, well, come on, all of this preparation work, and I'm ready. Let's just hit it. I'm ready to jump off the cliff, and let's get these changes going and tear off the Band-Aid. Let's go. Why am I like tired and cranky about this? And let's just do it. And I've been getting shown a bunch of different lessons. I've been given a lot of lessons, and lovely with grace and ease, because that's how I set my intention for things to work in my life. So it's been sort of laid out to me. And then this was great, because this was a great sort of icing on the cake on, we're all getting there. And I was sitting in the car, and I'm listening to this Native American flute music, and I actually felt good. And there have been many times when I've gotten really irritated having to sit in traffic like that, but I'm like, well, I'll get there. I'll get there, and I'll get home, and I'll get to my office and do the webcast. It'll get done. Or it won't. Whatever divine timing means. Now, that brings in a whole bunch of these different topics that tie in. One is divine timing. And you hear that topic a lot. And sometimes I struggle with it. Sometimes we all struggle with it. But have you ever had something happen where you set the intention, you laid the path, you are driving, and it's not getting you there. You're not getting there. There's something that's holding you up. Now, a lot of times it's blockages that we put in our own way. But many times it's really divine timing, because why do we put those blockages in the way of us? Well, there's still a couple of lessons we want to learn before we get to that goal. It's all the way we choose to do it. So, divine timing it happens as the bigger plan, as part of the bigger plan, and as all we've agreed for it to happen. And it changes and it moves, and it's really hard for us in many ways sometimes to accept that. But when you do accept it, things flow so much more evenly, and things become so much clearer. So here's the thing. Are you going to get to work? Most likely, whether you're sitting in traffic or not, or you take the side roads or not. And yeah, you might miss that 8 o'clock meeting because this traffic was just something you couldn't have planned for. But sometimes you got to think, well, maybe me being stuck in traffic here prevented me from getting into a car accident 5 minutes down the road because of the divine timing of it, because I wasn't there at that moment. And had I not been in that traffic, I might have been there at that moment for that accident. So there's a lot of stuff you can get sort of caught up with that, because I've seen things where I've had near misses, and because I had been delayed by even like a minute or two beforehand, that I know that had I not been delayed, I've been able to sort of see that line of time, that timeline, and saying, well, I could have easily gotten into an accident here because of just that split second that I had, or a minute or two that I had a different timeline from what was going on over here. So that's one thing. Another thing is, before I even got into this, and I was working, it was like 2000, 2001, and I was working with meditation because of migraines. A friend of mine gave a class on the principles behind the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, which was great. It was a wonderful workshop, and I got it then, but I really get it now, because we're moving so fast and there's so much going on, and we are coming to this, we're in this fabulous time, and it's going to get more fabulous and more. There's just so much dramatic change that's going to be going on. And the key here is to enjoy every moment and accept the fact that there is divine timing, that we are going to, if we set our intention and we set our path and we know where we want to go, we're going to get there, and trust that. But also that let's enjoy every moment of the journey. Let's not lose the fact that the journey is, a fun and fabulous thing in itself. So, I was sitting there in the car and looking around, and you know what? Like 2 miles from my house on a main road, I'm sitting there, and there are these houses that are older houses. And I was stuck in front of this house. I look over, and I must have passed. I've lived here for 14 years. Must have passed that house, I don't know how many times. And yet I'd never seen it. I'd never looked at the yard, and it had the most perfectly, beautifully manicured garden, the whole front yard. And it was a smaller front yard, but the whole thing, beautiful flowers, and it was just a joy to look at the butterflies and stuff that was flying around and the birds, and it was just beautiful. And yet it was right there on a main road. Never look at it. Why? Because most speeding by. So how many things in your life are you not looking at because you're speeding by? How many things are we getting irritated about because we're just wanting to get where we're going, and we're forgetting about the journey is the important part. So, wow, it's already 11 minutes almost. So I'm going to go. And on that, I want you to have a great weekend. I want you to think about that. Stop and smell the roses. Enjoy every moment of the journey. This is Angela with a Cup of Tea.